Okay, water signs. So this is another interesting reading for you. Welcome to your Daily Focus Tarot for Saturday. So we are going to start with the Ethereal Visions gave me 3 cards, and then I had a really hard time getting Druidcraft to give me 3 cards. The funny thing is, the first card was the Sun. This is 19. So it's a 2. Or no, it's a 1. It's a 1 card. It's a beginning card, right? Because it's 10. So it's a 0 and a 1. It's the Fool and the Magician. So this card, the Sun, talks about growth. It talks about a new beginning. It talks about creativity, life, love. This is the new day, right? When I asked for a clarifier, the Druidcraft basically spit this out onto the floor. It's the Sun also, and the Druidcraft, and you'll notice the difference. The Sun here, she is holding it, guiding it, right? This is not Apollo. This is, I'm not sure who this is, but she is guiding the Sun. We could say the face of the Sun, like the face of the moon. So the man in the moon and the mother, and the sky goddess, the mother, is helping to guide that creativity, helping to focus that moonbeam straight down onto a particular person or particular flower, their face or their head, right? So this Sun, this is a child. In this deck, this child, this is the Fool reborn again. So this is creativity. This is reincarnation. This is Orpheus coming out, Persephone coming out. This is hearing the music of the spheres. Spheres. That sounded like spears. No, music of the spheres. Like the music of heaven. Not sure why I said that. But it came in sideways for you. So if it were to be in the reverse, it would be the exact opposite of everything I said. It would be like stagnancy. It would be like creative block, like writer's block or artist block. It would be an inability to grow, like stuck in terms of mental and emotional growth. But it came in sideways. For some reason, it came in sideways. The same card came in sideways as its own clarifier when it was in the upright. So this to me is telling me that you need to focus on the positive aspects of the Sun and don't get stuck in the negative aspects of it, right? So don't give in to stagnancy, don't give in to fear of growth, don't give in to immaturity, emotionally or spiritually, right? Try to keep pushing for this creativity, keep pushing for this growth, this inner abundance that you're trying to get. Now, King of Swords, and King of Swords also came out for air signs, but it was the Druidcraft one. So this one to me is more like Odin, and this is like this particular one is thought through observation. So this is thinking about having balanced thinking, and whatever this issue is that's affecting you, having balanced thinking, having your head over your heart in terms of what you're trying to accomplish and what you're going to do. And that brings the golden, that brings the spirituality, that brings you to the sunshine, to the creative growth, right? So don't let your emotions overtake you. And then we have strength. in the negative, in the reverse. So this particular card also features Odin, right? Is the boar, the wild boar. So strength, usually it's Leo aligned, right? But this one in the Druidcraft features a wild boar. So this is a symbol of Odin. And in the reverse, in the upright, it's talking about inner strength. It's talking about having the courage to go your own way and do what's best for you, and having the ability to conquer not just, people outside of you or society who are saying you're wrong all the time, but having the ability to conquer your own inner demons as well. So in the reverse, this is, the exact opposite. It's a loss of hope. It's a lack of courage. And it's a loss of hope from within. So like depression and anxiety, self-doubt, having just like being overly emotional. So with the King of Swords here and the clarifier, you want to really focus on balancing your thoughts, even your memories. Like put your memories in their place, like whether they were happy or negative memories, they're memories of the past. They're not the present. They're not the future either. What happened in the past, it's good to review it, to think about it in a balanced way. Like without your emotions overtaking you when you think about it, either happy emotions or depressing emotions. It's good to think about it from a more neutral standpoint, right? So really don't let your emotions get the worst of you. Don't let, self-doubt, don't torment yourself, don't let all of these negative things happen, okay? So the last two cards that came out, not the best cards. Not in this way. Okay, Seven of Swords. I think of this as the thief card, because he looks like he's stealing swords and he's trying to keep them under his cloak, hidden, and then he dropped two and he's got one in his hand. You could almost picture him having run out of that tent in a hurry with all these swords. And so this is like, it can be a card of stealing. It can be a card of like deception and hacking, because he's hiding the swords underneath his cloak. It can also be, like sabotage, getting away with something, right? So general irresponsibility, general betrayal, escapism. The only good reading for it, it can be overworked due to worry too, but the only good reading for it, when it's in the upright, is acting strategically. So like you think a thief is, behaving strategically, but I don't know. It's not a good card. Whatever this is, yeah, it is causing you to need to really think and balance your thinking over your emotions and try and get that strength card to flip up. And this could have something to do with like the language that is being used. With the knowledge that is gained through working hard. The clarifier for this, it came out sideways but in the opposite way from the sun. So it's like almost heading away from the sun. The sun was heading to the left, this is heading to the right. Not sure if that means anything to you. So Six of Swords in the upright is a really great card because it can be a card of releasing baggage. It can be a card of going from like a really bad place to a really good place. So like a card of healing and coming up with solutions. It can also be a card of secrecy and ghosting, which would fall in with this negative Seven of Swords. You know, somebody could be ghosting you, especially since it's heading in the opposite direction of the sun. In the reverse, it talks about a long-standing situation, right? And how you need to confront it. It talks about being unbalanced. Not unbalanced. Ballast is, you might want to look up what ballast is. It helps balance. And I meant to say this in the reverse can be about being unbalanced. But I said unbalanced, so maybe you're dropping the ballast. You're getting ready to take off into the air. You're dropping that weight. So this could be about you ghosting. Or it could be about you leaving that hacker or that job where somebody's been allowed to do something deceptive and get away with it and continue to get away with it. Or, you know, in a personal relationship, somebody who's been really deceptive. So this situation has been going on for a long time. This card in the reverse can also mean that you are resisting changes, which, since it's going in the opposite direction of the sun, that would make a lot of sense. Now, if you look at this card, when it's in the upright, you have the Hermit here. You have the holder of the Wheel of Fortune in some decks. You have this, you know, he's not steering it with an oar, he's steering it with a wand. So he's using his higher self and his inner guidance to guide this boat for these two people. And these two people, I look at them as actually being one person. In other decks, there's only one person in the boat. So if you think of this is your divine masculine, your divine feminine. So it's your two halves, and this is your higher self. This is your soul guiding yourself in the physical, in the material realm to a better place. So when you look at it that way, and you look at it as going in the opposite direction of the sun in terms of how it's facing, and the sun was facing this way, then yeah, it is like a fear of change. It is like willing to be stagnant and not grow, which is not what you're here to do. Is like a physical human being, like a physical body, your body is always trying to grow, right? Even though you technically stop growing bones, your brain stops growing at age 21. No, your body is still constantly growing. And that's what it's meant to do. Physically, everything is still growing, even if it doesn't look like it's growing. Even during the fallow season of winter, stuff is still growing. It may not be growing leaves, it may not be growing blooms or fruits, but it's growing the roots under the ground, right? And you're doing the same thing as a person. During the winter, you're growing not as much physically, because winter is the time of reflection. So you're growing usually in a more spiritual, in a more mental capacity. You have the time where you're not trying to harvest stuff. You're not trying to run all over the place because there's plenty of hours of daylight. You have that time to rest, so you're growing in a different way than you are when there's so much daylight in the summer and so much stuff to do outside. It's internal growth. So this is Unicorn Oracle deck. I've asked for a couple cards for you because I was having so much trouble getting the clarifiers out from the Druidcraft. So this is change, and air signs also got this one today. So it says change that you're going through is positive. This is like Two of Swords. This is going through a gateway, following the road that you're supposed to be on, staying in your own lane, and it leads you to this gateway right here. It leads you to this new path, to this new beginning, this doorway. And then we have decide. It's time to clearly make a decision about what you want. And you'll notice there's another gateway here, right? And this gateway is a little bit different. This looks like it's a tree-lined path with mountains on either side. Possibly it's the gateway leading into where this unicorn is. And then that's another doorway into a place that's, you'll notice this place is darker, and this place with the fountain is sunnier, with the abundant water flowing, with the flow of emotions, the flow of spirituality, the flow of creativity. Okay, right? That's what water symbolizes. And it's moving because it's a fountain. It's continuously moving, it's recycling itself, it's regrowing itself, it's changing. So you really do need to decide to change. This one says worth waiting for. This one says water. You'll notice there's water in all but the first one, right? And there's water in the Six of Swords. There's water in a lot of these. So this one, it's saying drink more water, eat foods with water in them, such as fresh fruits and vegetables, you know. But the other thing that you can do with water, you can cleanse, right? You can take a cleansing bath. You can take a soothing bath that helps you de-stress. Sometimes being in or near water, it helps you think better. Our body is 70% water, so we do definitely need water. But you can do a simple cleanse. You don't have to take a bath. You can just consciously be in the shower and imagine that all of the negative stuff, all of the fear, the anxiety, the negative comments that people have made about you during the day, or, you know, the stuff that's stuck in your head. You can imagine that negative energy, it's flowing away from you and down the drain. You're physically cleansing your body with your soap, with your shampoo, but you're also spiritually, you're mentally and emotionally cleansing your body when you take a shower, and you say to yourself, okay, all that negative stuff, it's going down the drain too, with the soap, with the dirt, you know, with whatever bacteria or viruses I picked up on my skin, all this negative stuff that was in my energy field, that was surrounding me, that was in my mind and my thoughts, it's going down the drain too. It's not going to bother me anymore. I'm cleansing myself of it. And that's just a simple way to do it. You can Google like other ways, you know, to do cleansing and stuff. But personally, that's one of the easiest ways to do it. And most people take a shower every day, so that's, you know, I would do it every day. See how it makes you feel. You can charge water in the moonlight, in the sunlight. You can charge it for a specific purpose and drink it. You can charge it with, some crystals. Don't do it with every crystal because they're not all, how would I say, watertight, so to speak. You can destroy a crystal if it's not watertight, so to speak. So, just focus on water and focus on it for, you could ask it to help you make this decision. You could ask it to help you get unstuck and not be afraid of change, not be afraid of facing whatever this negative thing is that the Seven of Swords is representing. Okay, just remember to keep your balance, keep your thoughts, keep your head over your heart, keep your thoughts in alignment with what's good for you, and don't have self-doubt. Use your strength. Use your inner resources, because you have the sun. You have this new beginning. You have this creativity, this new life coming in for you, and that's what you really need to focus on, is this new life. Have a great Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow.